Economic news, brand new jobs numbers just out. You can see them behind me. In July, the U.S. added just 73,000 new jobs, below expectations, the unemployment rate at 4.2%. But the big news, really big news, major revisions for May and June, major downward revisions. Those months much, much worse than thought, really making them two of the...
It's crazy because they cooked Brandon when this happened. Trump literally brought it up. Trump brought this up with the Brandon regime too. Max Blumenthal, don't agree with all his takes. Obviously, neither do I. Calls it the necro economy, a corpse that produces no real goods in manufacturing. Only remaining goal is profiting off death and weapons. The deadly health insurance industry scam, the inefficient and deadly weapons and war industry are the only real things left. And the fake bullshit like AI and crypto. Like there's nothing there. Okay, with AI and cryptocurrency, there's nothing. There's no output. It's just not real. It's not a real thing. It's not like a tangible product. I guess you can say with AI, like it's supposed to be more efficient manufacturing, more efficient everything. But that efficiency comes at a cost. And that cost is the evisceration of labor. So what's supposed to happen? We just have like a 99% of the population be like servile little serfs. And the top 1% is just like unimaginably wealthy. And everyone else is just a slave. And it's all held together. There will be tremendous resentment towards that sort of thing. But all of that is held together by like a fascist military state. With, I guess, the only remaining jobs being relatively well-funded soldiers that are there to make sure that any kind of discontent is stamped out violently. It's great. Fantastic.
The weakest months since the pandemic. Let's get right to CNN's Zane Asher for the latest on this. What are you seeing, Zane?
John, I don't know what to say. I mean, this number is bad. You mentioned the downward revisions, but if you look at this number, 73,000 jobs added compared to 115,000 that was expected. And you have to remember that...
Actually, I take it back. It won't even be, it will be cyberpunk. It won't even be like, there will be no function of the state, not even for military purpose. It will just be like private military brigades, PMCs that different corporations hire. And are just like at a constant state of warfare with one another and also consistently killing the working poor, you know? And we're not even getting any sort of cyber, any sort of like cybernetics or whatever. We're not even getting any of the cool stuff. No lifelike AI bot, artificial girlfriend. The best you'll get is like that horrible soulless grok.
See, right here, this is the news.
Right, this is
you
the
look
news.
at this. These are, and I'll just walk around. These are two of the weakest months we've seen since 2020.
Right.
14,000, 19,000. Those are very, very weak numbers. And it's also just statistically, and for those who keep track of things, way off from what they said before. But if you looked at a 3-month stretch like this, you say, wait a second, we've got an economy that's got some real challenges.
That's got a lot of work to do. And when you think about the fact that Liberation Day, yes, April 2nd, rather, Liberation Day, we were sort of wondering when we were going to see the...
It's so great. It's so great to call it Liberation Day. Last bar seems fake. I mean, who knows? Who knows what it will look like when those job numbers get liberated too next month? When we go back and we're like, actually, we had 12 new jobs. Not 12,000, just 12. We were wrong. Our estimation was wrong. Oops.
Effects of these...
Except that won't happen because Trump will probably put like some freak at the Bureau of Labor Statistics who... Okay, if next month all of a sudden you see unprecedented job growth, tremendous job growth, just understand that the new guy is in charge, okay? Next month, we have we found out there are 1 million new jobs. It's crazy. So many jobs, more jobs than there are people. It's no one's ever seen anything like it. It's so much job. It's jobs. We're doing so many jobs. Jobs like you've never seen before. The hottest economy from the standpoint of heat.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Look, this jobs report isn't ideal. There's no way around that. But nevertheless, I think that the downward revisions reflect a couple of anomalous factors. First of all, about 60% of the downward revision is due to quirks of the seasonal adjustment process. Then on top of that, there's the fact that the president created in a household survey since the president took office, he created about 2.5 million jobs for Americans, whereas we've eliminated about 1 million jobs for foreign-born workers. That's a result of our strong immigration policy of our.
Oh, that's what they're doing. Oh my God. This is the meta. Okay. The meta is, no, you don't understand. We're getting jobs for the Americans. Okay. We're kicking, the layoffs are just the Mexicans. Okay. You don't understand. Oh, hell yeah. Bro, this is great. Remember when they tried to pull this spin? Not that they needed to do this spin at all, because like we're not going to see the Medicaid cuts until after the midterms. But they were like, no, you don't understand. We said we weren't going to cut Medicaid, and now we're cutting Medicaid by almost a fucking trillion, okay? But that actually is for the Mexicans. We're cutting off Medicaid for the Mexicans. Your Medicaid is fine. They just literally slam that talking point on everything. No matter what, whichever way this goes, they're like, no, you don't understand. The job layoffs are Mexican layoffs, Mexican style layoffs. Americans are getting good jobs. I don't know how long you can lie like this, for the record. I don't know, like, because at a certain point, people are going to be like, this is not happening. I thought it was just the Mexicans, but I don't think it's just the Mexicans. I think I lost my job. Yeah, JD Vance, I was told 6 months ago that America's losing jobs and the foreign-born gaining jobs was an irreversible demographic fact. Turns out you just needed a new president and a new immigration policy. Holy shit. I thought this was a typo. In the last 4 months, native-born Americans have gained 1.8 million jobs. Meanwhile, 1.5 million foreign-born workers, legal and illegal, lost a job. A sharp reversal of the last few years. Hell yeah. I specifically note legal plus illegal immigrants because the government does not separate the two groups in their data on foreign-born workers. However, based on numbers, a large percentage are certainly illegal immigrants. No, this is happening. This is for sure. Once again, having to remind myself that Americans would quite literally rather be unemployed than work any sort of agricultural job. Yeah, no, you don't understand. They're lining up, dude. They're lining up, dude. You don't understand. They are working the crops left and right. 0 white people lost their jobs. I swear to God, bro. Come on, bro. No, you don't understand, bro. You don't understand, King. You don't get it. Okay? White people are getting the jobs. They're getting good paying jobs right now. I promise. Not your cousin. Not you. You're white. You just didn't get it, but there's, I'm sure, white people out there that are getting the good jobs, I promise.
Strong border policy, keeping America safe, and eventually the outflow of foreign workers in this data.
Yeah, 85,000 Mexicans fired from the government, from the public sector. The public sector was just using the 85,000 Guatemalans that they fired, and pushed for an early retirement. That's what happened. This makes sense. I believe this.
Well, we're seeing in our area, we've got 30% unemployment among the ironworkers union. A lot of those building trades are being affected by the 50% tariffs against Canadian steel, where we get most of our fabricated steel from, aluminum as well. So in the building trades, we're seeing, they're probably the tip of the iceberg, but they're the first, I think, to be impacted. And I think that the impact will continue to grow from there. It's not an anomaly. This is the beginning of a bad sequence.
Bro, everybody said this was going to happen. Who is this supposed to be a surprise to? Like, literally everyone said that this was the inevitable outcome of the inconsistent messaging coming from the administration about, like, molesting the money over and over again. Not that it matters, because obviously the wealthiest people don't actually suffer here, because they can just like move their assets around in the market because their wealth is directly tied to stock performance. Ironically enough, those are the motherfuckers that don't have a real job. The ones that do not rely on wage labor. Yeah, the financial economy is immersed in the kind of wild gambling we saw leading up to the 2008 financial crisis. Honestly, even the wild gambling leading up to the 2008 financial crisis took years to implement through steady deregulation. This is just like, this is a level above that. I think this is just straightforwardly using the entire American economy and the stock market as a get rich quick scheme for the richest people, just turning it on and off so that his homies can like buy and sell quickly. Robert Reich says, we're seeing it all over again, this time with crypto, meme stocks, junk bonds, and investors pumping up shares of AI stocks without knowing what it is. Be warned.
For employment in the country.
Actually, 11,000 manufacturing jobs lost last month in those reports. You are deeply connected to the unions up in Massachusetts, South Boston, and elsewhere. What has the impact been of the president's tariffs to this point on manufacturing, and what do you think it will be now that he is announcing a new round of tariffs that he says will go into effect in a week?
Folks, let's go down to Washington, D.C.
Oof, it was loud.
Megan Casella, pretty big headline happening right now.
Absolutely, Brian. We're just hearing from President Trump via Truth Social that he is firing the Commissioner of Labor Statistics. He says effective immediately. This, of course, coming after the jobs report this morning showed lower than expected job growth for the previous month, as well as major downward revisions for the past two. So the president focusing on those revisions in particular in this Truth Social post, saying he's firing Dr. Erica McIntyre for the Commissioner of Labor Statistics because she was a Biden appointee. She was appointed to her job in January 2024. He says this is the same Bureau of Labor Statistics that overstated the jobs growth in March 2024 by approximately 818,000, and then again right before the 2024 presidential election. He says these were records. No one can be that wrong. We need accurate jobs numbers. He goes on to say, I have directed my team to fire this Biden political appointee immediately. She will be replaced with someone much more competent and qualified.
That's some China shit. Numbers are not looking good. Let's not publish the numbers anymore. That's so funny to think that that's China shit, especially when China is on the exact opposite trajectory, all things considered. Like, no, dude, I don't think that works anymore. No, it's happening in America. It's not happening in China. That's not China. I wish we had China shit going on here. Okay? What do you mean? I wish we had China shit going on. I wish we had a fucking command economy and central planning and a robust industrial manufacturing base and jobs and consistent building, rapid urbanization, a network of high-speed rail and public transit that's readily available and very affordable. No inflation crisis whatsoever. That's China shit. It's so funny because like I think like one of my biggest points of vindication beyond people finally coming to the conclusions I arrived at a long time ago on Israel has been China. More and more younger people that aren't as readily hopping on like the America is good and all the enemies are bad, because there's nothing to look forward to being in America. They're seeing all the cool stuff China's doing and they go, oh my God, maybe China's not so bad. They're not talking about the Chinese economy there. I think they're referring to the tendency of the Chinese government to shut down publishing data when it's not very positive. For instance, the youth unemployment rate, sure. But once again, all things considered, they are doing much better than we are. Also, this is quite literally America shit from Trump 1 too. COVID testing. Numbers look terrible. We need to stop testing for COVID was literally the Trump 1 attitude on COVID, which is hilarious because they did not do that in China. They did the exact opposite in China. They were heavy-handed with their zero COVID policies for sure, and it created a tremendous resentment. People literally started rebelling against the state, and then they stopped it. But like, that was that was again Trump 1 as well as Trump 2. He's just doing it for everything else now. Day in Trump's economy. Wake up, check the news. BLS, 10 billion new jobs created. Check my phone to see what today's tariff rates are. Norway up 20%. Cambodia down 5%. Go to my iPhone assembly line job where I make $7.25 an hour. Spend the next 4 hours putting chips inside of phones. Take 15-minute break. Check my shit fart piss coin holdings. Rugged. Watch the FOMC meeting. FOMC is just Trump. Trump goes on stage and announces he's raising rates from minus 10% to minus 5%. Also announces date of Jay Powell's public execution. Everyone to thunderous applause. Jerome Powell, really bad guy. We're killing him. We're killing him dead with a guillotine. AI manager scolds me for taking 60 minutes on my 15-minute break. It's only been 12 minutes. Call employee helpline to complain. It's also AI. Go home frustrated. Complain to my girlfriend about my job. She's also AI. Everything's computer. Everything's computer. Even girlfriend is computer. Manager's computer. Girlfriend is computer. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Just wait. Just wait. Everything is great. If you don't think things are great, don't worry. We got Palantir. Your identity numbers are all over. We are tapping in directly to your personal messaging on social media to make sure that there is no discontent. When we find out there is discontent, don't worry. Computer will come for you. And to make sure you no longer say you don't like it.
We now have a 25% tariff on this product that we didn't have a week ago.
Barton O'Brien owns Baydog, a pet gear company based on Kent Island, Maryland, with a staff of 7. He makes his products in China, Vietnam, and in...
I told you, this was another lock early on. Even from before the election, I told you, when Trump comes in and he says he's going to put these tariffs in place, he is going to hurt the small business owners that voted for him. Okay? Because all of these, like America is propped up by these small business owners that have like a couple people that they've hired that rely almost entirely on drop shipping, basically. Like getting their products from China and then selling it with a markup to Americans. The funniest version of this, of course, is the MAGA stores. But yeah, I said this to Bradley Martin months ago. Yep. Dude, that conversation is so crazy. Look back at that conversation that I had with Bradley Martin about every single thing that I said that was going to happen with Donald Trump. Every single thing has happened. Literally every single thing that I said was going to happen with Donald Trump has happened. And it's not even, I mean, just like every single thing that I said was going to happen with the election and all of the failures that I pointed out with Kamala Harris and her campaign also unfolded fairly quickly in real time. Great stuff. Cutie really picked the worst time to start a business. This is kind of true, especially one that relies on like almost entirely Chinese made goods, like with virtually no market substitute here in the United States of America. Because her entire business is like imported goods. But like, I don't think there's anything that she could purchase that has a market substitute anyway. Like, do we even make those little trinkets here in America? I don't think so. Like, what could she source? What could she source from the United States of America? She needs to make them. She needs to make the little trinkets homegrown and sourced with local labor. So instead of like little labubus and stuff, you're gonna have bullets, different kinds of bullets.
The question I have is, what kinds of products are going to be hit the hardest?
Well, we're already seeing, if you think about what's coming from Canada, we import so much lumber from Canada. So we could see lumber prices go up, which could make housing more expensive. You think about that 50% import tax on Brazil, for example. Coffee could get more expensive. Clothing. We're already seeing furniture prices tick up, as well as computers and appliances as well.
How quickly will customers notice a difference in prices?
Okay, so it's all about the dates. So we know that the Canada new import taxes have already gone into effect. So that's happening now. That could hit companies.
Yeah, with coffee, there's like not really much you can do about that either. That's another one that's just like kind of region cucked.
Hit consumers very soon. But then for all of the other countries that Nancy was talking about here, we know that they have until August 7th to get their orders in. And if their stuff arrives before October 5th, then they can avoid these new higher levies.
Okay.
But we know these businesses, they tell us it takes a long time to get stuff into the U.S.
That's
Making
true.
that October deadline, that's a tight turnaround. This uncertainty has...
U.S. is now becoming a 100% small business economy. No, it's even worse than that. The only small business you can do is crypto pimp. Okay. That's it. Like t-shirt salesman, influencer, cryptocurrency peddler. That's it. That's the entire nation, an entire nation of multi-level marketing schemes, Ponzi schemes that get increasingly stupider as well. Nope. Dropshippers are gone. We can't do dropshipping anymore. Trump effectively killed that. You can't even do dropshipping. Dropshipper looks like an honest job as opposed to like cryptocurrency hawk. You're become like, what do you mean? You got rug pull merchant versus dropshipper. Dropshipper literally looks like a real job in comparison. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I just like peddle shitcoin with the hopes that like the guy next to me, the guy after me is going to be stupid enough to buy it thinking that he can fuck over the next person.